Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with your Hollywoke hot take. We got lots to cover here. First up, Walking Dead Twitter tells anti-LGBTQ plus fans unfollow us because you're not woke enough. The framing of this is not great in my view at CBR. They're not, in my view, they're pretty woke. But here was the tweet. This is from the Walking Dead official account. Hi, hello. If LGBTQ plus characters on television or anywhere make you uncomfortable or angry, please unfollow us, while we also encourage you to look within and be more accepting. Know that there's no place in our fandom for hateful discrimination or willful ignorance. Thank you. That from a zombie TV show. This is the problem with that. It's not that, hey, you're accepting of gay people. The problem is no one cares about that. That's not why people are watching The Walking Dead. They're watching it because it's a zombie show. Okay? If you, I don't know, open a coffee shop and every time I come in there, you try to sell me insurance and I say, I didn't come here for insurance, and you go, well, if you hate insurance, you could just never come in here again. I'm going to be like, what is your problem? I didn't say I didn't hate insurance. I'm not here for insurance. I'm here for coffee. Okay? The fans of The Walking Dead weren't here for a rundown of every LGBTQ relationship you could possibly jam inside the show. It was fine to have a couple of them. Why not? Something that was proportional to the population would seem to make sense in a show that was about the population being winnowed down by zombies. That would seem to make sense. Wouldn't be that the gay people would somehow be better than fighting zombies or worse at it. It would just be they would randomly survive just like everybody else. But the constant over focus, I mean, look, I've gone over and over. My problems with The Walking Dead had nothing to do with whether or not the characters were gay. In fact, I bailed on the show long before it started to get woke. It's the only show I ever bailed on because of the blocking. Oof. It's the only show I've ever seen the blocking. Could see the blocking and hated it. But this is just such posturing. Okay? Why are you berating fans in anticipation of something? Don't berate them. Don't engage them. If you have a fan that's on your Twitter feed that's ranting about gay people, delete them. Block them. You have the power to do that on Twitter. That's it. Don't engage them. Oh, if you don't like gay people, go away. What are you doing? Okay? What are you doing? No one watches AMC's The Walking Dead to get a gauge on whether or not, they're woke enough. You're a zombie TV show. They want to see zombies and people fighting zombies. If you can tear yourself away for 5 seconds from your various political agendas, you got to politicize this too. How about just making an entertaining zombie show and not getting all caught up in your various causes? When I was watching TV back in the 70s and 80s, I wouldn't expect somebody to suddenly start preaching, religion to me. I would have been annoyed. I would have been like, stop, what is this? I was watching a TV show and wanted to see the ending of it, and now you're preaching to me about your religion. This is the same thing. It's become a religion. The woke religion. Oh, look how wonderful we are. We're part of the woke religion, everybody. If you're not part of it, go away. No one cares. It's a zombie TV show. Can you keep things in perspective for 2 seconds? It's not about you. Not everything's about you. Sometimes it's about other people who just want to be entertained. But if you want to continue down this path, by all means, continue down this path. Because if anything deserves to be canceled, in my opinion, it's It's AMC's The Walking Dead. Oof. Rob Reiner, Senate must convict Trump, new leader of the Confederacy, to win our continuing civil war. Thanks, meathead. I mean, are you really going to listen to Rob Reiner? I think Rob Reiner should just go back to making funny movies. Maybe work on a sequel to Spinal Tap, something like that. It's just sad. It's just sad at this point. Trump is out of office. And still. Oh, that's not good enough. Gotta make sure he never comes back again. Will you be satisfied once we have a one world government and a one party system? Will that satisfy you, Rob? Probably not. Sure, you'll have more complaints. Bette Midler fantasizes about GOP lawmakers getting stranded at sea. Wow, so nice. Maybe, I don't know, record an album or star in a movie. Maybe do something like that. Elliot Page divorcing wife Emma Portner 2 months after transgender announcement. Well, now that you're a man, understand that you owe half. Food Network scrubs worst cooks in America. Season 20 after Champ charged with murdering adopted daughter. This is just horrific. And it's funny. Well, not funny, but it's interesting to note that doesn't seem to be really covered in the entertainment press. It's funny how they don't cover this kind of stuff sometimes. Seem to just, let's not talk about that. Might hurt our companies, our ratings. But man, this is just horrible. Bihar says GOP senators who don't vote to convict Trump have blood on their hands. The View, everybody. Won't that be great to wake up with your morning cup of coffee? Oh boy. I hope all these shows go down the tubes without Trump. I really do. I hope people just, they come out of their TDS and they realize, man, this show's boring. All they talk about is Trump. Trump is out of office. And the chances of him winning in 2024? Kind of low at the current rate. And considering the most secure election in history, honk honk, wink wink. But we'll see in 4 years. I mean, Biden is so wonderful and the most popular president ever elected. You gotta wonder why you'd even worry about him being reelected in a second term. Why would you even worry? He's so popular. More popular than Obama. I don't know why you're worried. And finally, on a sad note, but, sad relative to what happened, but Cloris Leachman was comedic genius. And I can't help but smile to think about all of the funny things she did over the years. One of her last roles was to play the grandmother in a TV series called, I think it was called Hope, Chasing Hope or Raising Hope or something like that, which wasn't a great show, but she was great in it. It was one of those TV shows that were sort of hit or miss, where the main character wasn't the strongest guy in the cast, I felt, but Cloris Leachman was just so genius in it because she would go back and forth in between being completely senile and too old to remember things to being like totally on it. And it was a fun show for her to be on, certainly. Of course, Young Frankenstein, she was great in that. I didn't realize she won an Oscar. But if you haven't seen Young Frankenstein, my God, you're missing out. You are missing out. Young Frankenstein, one of the funniest movies you'll ever see. A classic, an absolute classic, and she's great in it as Frau Bruca. And of course, she was Phyllis on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and then had her own show for a while. Um, she was also when they did the movie version of the Beverly Hillbillies. She was Granny. I think she was right. Yeah, she was on tons of stuff like that, and she was just great. And she was one of those actresses that, like, you know, when she got old, she was even better because she was playing like the old woman a lot of times. She was really good in that role. And she was funny before. She was, you know, pretty hot back in her day. Um, but I think, you know, when she got older is when she really sort of shined as a comedic actor. And I did not know she was 94. My God, 94. Good run, good run. So yeah, I can't, you know, I'm sorry she died, but I can't feel sad when I think of someone as funny as Cloris Leachman. She was great. She was also in the Twilight Zone episode where she, I don't think she has any dialogue in that episode, and it was one of those shows or Twilight Zone episodes where she plays a character. She wasn't old then, but she's playing like a woman with like a real tight bun and, like, you know, almost like frontier type clothing. So she, even though she wasn't old then, she kind of looked old. She kind of read old. And I think from then on, it was those kinds of roles that she got, you know, like that or School Marm or whatever. So, but yeah, she wasn't woke. No way. No way was Cloris Leachman woke. You might call her like a second or third wave feminist, but those kind of feminists were relatively normal, especially compared to the crazies we have running around on Twitter these days. You could learn a thing or two from her. She had a sense of humor.